You're known for being a pretty serious guy. You're liable to reach over and slap me here if I don't get to business. We're at the judges meeting has just wrapped up for the year. What do you think about what's transpired for the year at the meeting?
Well, for the year, we had a great year, statewide, nationally, especially in the Central District. Every show had great turnout of competitors. We had one new show, Dexter Jackson show up in Jacksonville. He did a tremendous job. Him and Gail and him put together a great show. Had a large turnout of competitors in the audience, and it was a huge success. And he's adding a pro figure to it next year, and hopefully that trend will continue with him. And we've got two new shows, one in Gainesville and one in Fort Myers, and I think these guys are hungry and want to get out and promote, and they'll have a good turnout. So as long as people don't sit on, these promoters do not sit on their hands and get complacent and put some effort into their promotion of shows, I think we'll have a good turnout next year.
And speaking of the one gentleman that's putting on the Gainesville show, I understand he had already had some literature already printed up and the like, and he was noting, well, I understand from speaking with Pete that I might have needed to slow down a bit, but he came in wanting to show you that he was prepared.
Hungry, yeah. I told him that when he first approached me, I told him put together a resume on yourself, on the show, what you want to do, where you want to hold it, the geographical area, just like you're applying for a job. Send it to me. And he sent me 3 copies, one for me and Deke, and at the All South we sat down and went over it, and some things we agreed with what he was doing, corrected him on some others, and he's off and running.
Maybe he's a good example for people that don't know. This is an athlete that had participated in that show several previous years, and it wasn't being promoted, I suppose, last year, and he realized, like I suppose is often the case, if you want the show, maybe you have to step up and do it yourself. And
well, I think he saw the quality of the event that was being put on and realized in his sleep he could do a better job, which I agree. And like I said, he's hungry. I think he'll do a good job. He's hungry, he's motivated, he wants it to work and succeed, and he's been in that community, I think, 8 or 9 years, and he's in the real estate there, so he has a lot of contacts, and I still have a lot of contacts in Gainesville, so between the two of us, it'll work. It'll work.
Well, and we'd spoken with Tony Curtis about he had been considering actually putting on that show, and
right.
and seeing this gentleman come in and do it, that's one of the joys, I suppose, like Mr. Potter has noted as well. Whereas some people might think there's some competition, really there's a camaraderie amongst the judges and promoters to see the sport move forward, and probably even Tony he can contact for assistance. That's the nature of the business.
Tony will help him out, there's no doubt, and Tony and I talked about him doing that show, and at first I was leaning towards letting Tony do it, and then when I saw this gentleman's resume, Mr. Elliott, and the community ties, I realized it's better for him to do it. He's very in the community. It's hard for somebody 50 miles away to come in and get local support because they don't know Tony in Gainesville. This gentleman they know.
So even somebody like myself that might know a little bit more about what's going on, as a casual observer at this meeting, where you're actually sanctioning new events essentially and such, it seemed to run so smoothly, but part of that was there's a lot of thought that has gone into the shows beforehand. When the people came in here, it's largely a matter of making sure there's no conflict for dates and that sort of thing.
Well, everybody's been promoting their same show for probably 15 years or better. I mean, John Schreiker's on his 26th year, and every date has pretty much stayed within a week for the last, I'd say, 15 years, at least since I've been chairman. Nothing has really moved around except for the Florida State, and now Deke's got it, and that's going to stay consistent. But we all get along. It's kind of a family. I mean, there's been some huge arguments in some of these meetings. I mean, there's been some dillies, but when it's all said and done, everybody kind of gets their feelings in check and realizes if I don't help this guy, and it's going to hurt me in the long run. So we all work together, try to work together.
Are there, maybe no better than I, can there be another state with more shows than Florida?
California and New York are on par with us. I don't know who would have the most, but we're running neck and neck. Now, at one time, when I first got to be chairman in 91, I think it was, maybe late 92, we had 52 shows in the state, which was more than anybody in the whole union. And out of that 52, I think 34 were in my district. and we narrowed it down. I think now we have 16 or 14 shows.
And you did that for quality reasons, as we spoke
Quality
before.
reasons, yeah, we talked about it one time before. We had some promoters that just weren't putting the effort, and they were just poorly run, and we just started slowly culling things out.
But now you're able to add shows and pro divisions and amateur divisions with
Well,
one of the
everybody's
pro
going
shows.
nuts adding these shows. I mean, the one in Gainesville and the one in Fort Myers, I think will work maybe. I think Fort Myers can handle a second show, and it's a good. They're almost going to put them back to back there. And
Right,
then
that was scary.
Matt changed his show to the late spring, which was great, and so I think that both shows will work out well as long as they promote them. Gainesville really needs another show up in the North Florida area, and so I think that'll work too.
Right.
Now, if we had to add another show in Tampa or Orlando, I wouldn't go for that.
Right.
Too many.
What do you think, are there any major changes that you see? Some of the, it seems like minor stuff in terms of changes. I mean, there was no, a few sanctioning fees maybe go up a little in a couple of years, maybe $5 extra for your NPC card, but nothing major.
No, nothing major. As far as the sanction fees going up, that's not going to affect what we're doing here, and our fees in the district will not go up. So the only thing it affects is how much the national office keeps as opposed to what comes back into the district fund.